Okay, hi guys. So in this tutorial we'll go over some scenarios for keying some of these green screen clips that we did, and we'll encounter some different challenges and hopefully you'll get an idea of how you can move ahead with them. I'm going to start with this armless one. Okay, so I've got armless background. You can see I've just basically imported all the files and I've got them in a folder called source. I've got a comps folder ready to go. So I'm going to start with armless background and just drag it into the timeline to create the comp. I'll just drag the comp into the comps folder. It always creates the comp in the same folder as the source folder if you create the comp that way. Okay, so I've got the background layer here. You can see the clapper. So I'm just going to move my mouse to where the clapper finishes. Also notice that I have my timeline here set to show frames as the units. That's quite useful. You tend to think in frames, and it's useful to know how long a clip is in frames. To do that, you just go to the File, Project Settings, and set Time Display to frames. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust my input there, endpoint. A good trick here, you can see I've placed the time marker where I want it to be, and I could just drag it to it and let it go. But if while I'm dragging, hold shift, it will snap to the time marker like that. Then I can just move my time marker back to the start of the timeline, start dragging the clip, hold shift, and it will snap to it. So get it starting at the right point. Okay, so I'm going to drag in armless movie. This is the one with the key and green screen. Drag it in. Oops, just didn't drop it right there above. God. Okay, and then just find the endpoint for this one. You've got two clapper boards there, so there's the sort of the start point. So I'll just again holding shift, snap, hold shift, snap, and let's see, how much do I want here? I kind of stop acting at about there. Let's drag that in, drag that in. That's nice and tidy. It's just this isolated the section that I want, and we can see 757, 857. It's about 100 frames. So I'll zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So I'm going to start by applying the key light. So again, you can just search for key light in your effects and presets window. You can also find it through, the effect main menu. If I have a clip selected, that one, effect, keying, key light, which will apply it. Make sure you have the layer selected, or you can drag and drop it from here onto it. And I'll pick a color first, so just use the eyedropper tool, and then I'll pick kind of a mid-green there. And the key is applied. Looks kind of cool, it's kind of ghostly, but obviously I want to get rid of all of this. Now, I'm going to show you a way where we'll do the best key we can just using a few controls, and then we're going to use a mask to get rid of the problematic bits. Really, with this key, I'm only interested in this edge here. Okay, we're interested in getting the information, the green information, away from that, and we can just sort of mask off the rest. It's a hard key because it's got lots of shadows. All of these keys are actually quite hard because we just did them really roughly, but this will show you some strategies where you can work with this type of sort of lo-fi footage. So I've applied the basic key. I'm going to go into screen matte and I'm going to expand clip black and clip white, and I'm going to drag clip black, and you can see if I go too far, it starts to do funky things there with the shirt. So I'll bring it back. Remember though that we'll try and minimize that, and once we adjust clip white, it helps. We can go a bit more clip black. Let's really push it. Okay, so right about there. And if I start to do clip white, now that's pretty good. I've got a bit of graining down there, some sort of macro blocking. So just a wee tweak helps that. Okay, so clip black and clip white are your sort of go-to controls to initially fine-tune your key. But you can see there's still an edge. Now we could really get fussy with some different things in here, and in one of the other scenarios we might go into some stuff here with more detail, but I'm going to try something else first, and I'm just going to try and now animate a mask to garbage pretty much out the rest, so that I've only got this bit in here, which is actually not too bad. And then I think it won't be noticeable, especially once we paint in our arm stump, or use an arm stump photograph or whatever to replace that sort of empty hole. So I can just go through and see how it's not bad. We see we've got a bit of an edge down the hand, but that'll be pretty easy to get rid of. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the first frame, and I want to add a mask to this top layer, so I'll just make sure the armless movie is selected. Go to my pen tool, I'll zoom in a bit, and just create a mask around the arm like that. Now the mask is masking the wrong thing. It needs to be inverted or subtracted or added. So we can just expand that layer, expand masks, and you can click inverted, that'll work. You can also go subtract, which means it subtracts the result. And if you have multiple masks, using that control is how you get both masks doing the same thing. So you could set, if I had another mask over here, I could set that to subtract. Anyway, we'll go into that another day. Okay, so here's my mask, and it's a static mask, so obviously the arm's going to move out. Now it might be easier just to turn off the green screen result. So we'll just, well, there's two ways we could do this. We could actually just turn off the effect itself there, and that way I'll be able to see when that exits the mask. So just got my select tool here, mask 1 is selected, double click it to select it. I'm going to hold my mouse down the pen tool and go to mask feather. I always get confused with this. Right, yeah, I think don't double click on it. Sorry, that was a mistake. If you double click on it, that's how you can then move the entire mask and rotate it and transform it as one single object. But you need to go back to your select tool, double click on the footage area to deselect it, and then go to your mask feather tool, and we can start adding points. So we just want to add a point there, point there, point there, point there. I don't actually need that point there. The simpler the mask the better, really. But anyway, now I can grab these points. I'm still on the mask feather tool, and just drag them out, and that's going to create a feather, obviously a blur, which means if there's any differences in light between our background layer and our foreground layer, this will blend nice, that we won't see a straight line seam. So these ones you could actually blend out quite a lot. I might have to drag that one in. I don't want too much here because that might affect my key, but like that. Okay, that's great. Just go back to your selection tool now, and this is going to be kind of tedious, but if you go quickly and just do this, it should take you 20 minutes or so. But what we're going to do is animate the mask so that it's always moving and obscuring the arm. So come down, expand your mask 1, and we're going to animate the mask path. So just bring your time marker back to the start of the timeline and turn on the stopwatch for mask path, and it'll set a keyframe. So now anytime we move any of these points, it'll set a new keyframe. So we really need to just go frame by frame here and move it when we see the arm coming out from behind the mask. So we can use the page up and page down keys are your hotkeys for skipping frames. So page down moves one more frame, so I can still see the can't see the arm there. It starts to come out, so I'm just going to deselect, select one point, yep, and move that. I might move that one too, and page up, page down. And so we just got to, in this case, I might just double click it and move the whole thing. It's a kind of a matter of carefully selecting and reselecting, deselecting and reselecting, and the goal is just to keep the arm always obscured. Doesn't really matter how big your mask is. And as long as we don't kind of obscure the black sleeve. You'll be able to see here this mask, animating. It's quite cool. Okay, so keep going high up here. Could just move that all the way up. So now here it's going to start, my sleeve's going to start going behind it, so I need to begin moving that back. Okay, so